Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Regular viewers know I review many photographic, audio and video related products. Well, today I'm taking a brief look at an old camera that I've had for, oh gosh, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. And it is a Sony PXW X70 camcorder. And I bought it because I wanted a really decent HD camcorder that would produce lovely crisp HD images, but capable of upgrading to 4K. Well, I never bothered upgrading it to 4K until recently, and I thought, well, let's upgrade it to 4K and see what it can do. And what you're seeing now on the wide shot, not the close-up shot at the moment is being shot on my Nikon Z6, almost forgot what it was, on my Nikon Z6. It's the wide shot I'm shooting in 4K on my PXW X70. And let me just turn the screen round on it, because, there we go. Yeah, I'm shooting the wide shot on my PXW X70, and I'm actually shooting it in 4K. So I'm very curious to see how good the 4K upgrade is. Now, I'm looking at the Z70 now, as opposed to my Nikon Z6, and I'm loving the results it's producing. Now, there are some downsides to shooting in 4K on the PXW X70, and the downsides come about because of the age of the camera, and I think it's because of the processor that's in the camera. It is a 1-inch sensor, so you get great images. You don't get that lovely creamy bokeh that you're getting on my Z6, and you see the background thrown right out of focus. As being shot on a full frame camera. Although interestingly, I've got it set to DX mode, which is an APS-C crop, simply because I couldn't get the lens in tight enough from where I've set the camera. But the wide shot is what I'm shooting on the X70, and I will go into a tighter shot in a moment. But there's two downsides, two frustrating downsides with the X70 shooting in 4K. Number one is that you lose face detection. So I think on the wide it's completely fine, and I think it's holding the shot and it's not hunting, etc. You probably wouldn't see it even if it did, because of its 1-inch sensor. It's a pretty damn good sensor. So that's one downside. You don't have face detect when you're shooting in 4K. You lose that on the X70. I was a bit disappointed, but not surprised. And I think that's down to the processor that is in the X70. The second downside, which is more annoying, and this happens actually on the Sony A6500, the 6000, not the 6000, the 6500, 6300, the A7, the A7R, quite a few of the Sony cameras. When you've got an external monitor plugged into the camera, it's fine, it shows it on the monitor when you're not recording. But when you hit that damn record button, again, because of the processor inside the camera is what I put it down to, you lose the image on the external monitor, which is really frustrating, because I've got a 7-inch monitor plugged into the X70, which for me is much easier to see than the small 3.5-inch monitor on the camera. Yeah, so you lose your HDMI output the minute you hit the record button on the camera. It's fine in HD, no problem at all, you don't lose it. So I think it's a processor basically. So there we go. So that's shooting in wide on the X70 in 4K. I'm also recording the audio to the X70. Normally I record it to my Nikon Z6, but I'm actually recording it to the X70. So now I'm going to do a close-up shot and just see. And I'm fairly confident the close-up shot won't hold the focus anywhere near as well as it does on the wide, but let's do it and see what happens. I've now actually switched the X70 to close-up. I switched it, I've zoomed in and adjusted the framing a bit to close-up. So I'm still shooting in 4K. Again, I've lost the external monitor, so I'm relying on the small internal monitor. And from this distance, I cannot see with my eyes if that's in focus or if it isn't. I suspect there's a lot of people that would struggle to see how good the focus is from the sort of distance I've got the camera set to. Now with me Nikon, I've changed the framing, but I've just changed it from DX mode to FX mode. So it's now actually full frame, but of course it's wider. It's a 50mm f1.7 lens on the Nikon. And obviously on the Sony X70 it's a built-in Zeiss, and I can't remember what the range of the lens is, but it's a zoom lens. looking at the colours, it's looking lovely. But I say I'm just curious to see if it is holding the focus. Now what I will do as just a final test, I'm going to keep it in close-up, but I'm going to switch to HD, which the face detect will work on, and I will be able to see the external monitor. So for those of you who may be interested, let's see if there is any difference with the focus. I think the 4K is softer, is going to be softer. From tests I've done in the past, I think the 4K will be, ironically, will be softer because of that, the face detect not working. So let's see if that does make any difference. Now I've turned it to HD. Now I edit on the HD timeline, so when it ends up on YouTube, whether you're going to see a discernible difference between the HD and the 4K is, I don't know, is debatable. And that just goes to show how good the HD camera, how good the X70 films in HD. As I say, I upgraded it to 4K purely because I can, and I thought I wanted to see how good it is. And there might be instances where I need it in 4K. But now we're shooting the close-up shot on the X70 in HD, and I've got the monitor, so it's not cutting out the HDMI output to the monitor, and that's so refreshing. I can clearly see, well, I can see myself on a bigger screen. I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but there we go. It's good for me, so I can see what I'm doing. Whether it's good for the viewer or not, I don't know. Anyway, so that's the X70 in HD. With face detect on. I have checked the little symbol and it does say face detect is on, and I say the wide shot is on my trusty Z6, and I would always love me Z6s because I think they're great cameras. So there we go. I'll be doing more with the X70. I would like to compare it with the X700 and the NX80, which I may well do soon. So if you're interested in that, let me know. But there we go. That's my thoughts on the PXW X70, very quick thoughts on the X70 shooting in 4K. There we go, that's the X70 in, well, in HD at the moment, but earlier it was in 4K. So there we go. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you do find my reviews of interest and this channel of interest. I enjoy making these videos, so please subscribe if you haven't already done so, and hit the like button if you found this video useful. Thanks very much, and stay tuned for more videos relating to photography and video. Cheers for now. Bye.